everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's a very exciting video for Grandma Megs because we are filming a Meghan Markle wedding makeup look inspiration with a twist. So I really love Meghan's makeup for the wedding, but I was kind of thinking, like, is there a way that you can make this kind of more like street style friendly, I guess kind of more like me, maybe like my style of makeup recently at least. So kind of not being as full glam, a little bit more glossy, a little lighter, a little more fresh, you know? So I thought, why don't we make a video about that? So I have my photos here. I have a couple different ones, but like, I'm not gonna lie, like it was kind of hard to find a picture of the entire look because she very rarely was like looking down in the ceremony, and she has quite like hooded eyes, I would say. So it was kind of hard for me to like see what the eyeshadow actually was. But I did find this picture of her in the second dress, which I loved, when they were going out to get in the car to go to their like reception, I guess you could say. And she was looking down. So we're just gonna go off of that. So make sure to get your British cup of tea and let's get into this. I'm actually drinking English breakfast for the occasion. So yeah. So before we get started, I did want to say I already did my brows because I feel like, you know, there wasn't a specific brow look to Meghan. She just kind of had her brows filled in normally. And I feel like everybody can just use whatever products they prefer, you know, whatever brow look they prefer. So I did my brows, and then after that I moisturized and put a little lip balm on. I think it's really important to be moisturized for this look since we're gonna do a little bit more of a fresher version, you know, using some cream products. But yeah, I'm so excited. So we're gonna do eyes first, and the eyeshadow Meghan had on was very cool toned, bronzy, smoky. That's at least what I can get from this photo here. And I'm just gonna do a little bit more of a toned down version of that. So for this, we're using Naked 2. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've used Naked 2, let me tell you. So I got this brush going, and I'm gonna pick up the color Snakebite, which is this guy right here. Let me see, that one right there. I'm just gonna lightly pick it up and tap off a lot of excess. I actually am not priming my lids today, mainly because I want it to be a bit more of a glossy finish, a bit more of a glow, and that's kind of the best way to get that look, even though it might lead to creasing, so kind of keep that in mind, but I'm gonna be okay with the creases. I just kind of want to get that fresher look. I'm just gonna start by like kind of blending it on the outer half, a little bit into the crease. I always feel like with these colors, like a little goes a long way. Do you see what I'm saying here? So I would say light layers is definitely the way to go. Okay, and now do the same thing on the other side. I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush now and just kind of blend the edges out a little bit more. Just trying to get those seamless edges, you know. I kind of feel like that's enough. Like, for me, that's enough darkness. I don't like anything too crazy dark in my eyes. I think it's because I do have lighter hair and like super fair skin. Meghan has that beautiful like dark black hair, and I just feel like that can like pull off so much more dark eyeshadow and liner and all that kind of stuff. So for me personally, I'm just gonna keep it a little bit lighter, but if you want to go out and do the whole thing, totally do that. So next I'm gonna take the color Suspect, which is kind of like this taupey shimmery color. I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger, and I'm just gonna tap this on like the inner corner and kind of like inner half of my lid, just to get that really pretty sheen that kind of catches the light. Meghan definitely had that going, so I wanna get that too. Okay. Then I'm just gonna kind of meld the colors with that same finger, you know, blend it. Okay. I'm really digging this makeup so far. I haven't used really a lot of cool tones recently, and I kind of feel like she might bring this trend back. You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking this tiny little brush and I'm gonna go into the color Booty Call. Just like a light champagne-y color, just to pop that on the inner corner. And I'm also gonna kind of put a little bit in my tear duct as well, like a little more I guess towards my nose. Does that make sense? I feel like sometimes makeup tutorials can be really hard to describe, but they're really easy to watch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. So now we're gonna do a little bit of liner. Now, I don't wanna do anything too intense, but she definitely had some black liner going on. In an article I read, I believe they used a liquid liner on her, but for me, I kind of feel like for the daytime, I wanna make things a little more smudgy, a little more undone. So I'm gonna use this NARS Larger Than Life eyeliner in the shade Via Veneto. And I'm just gonna take this little MAC angled brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up a little bit on this. I think I'm just gonna put this on like the outer, kind of half maybe, and then blend it in. Very nervous, not gonna lie. I actually kind of dig that. So what I ended up doing is just kind of starting it in the, about like, I said the center of my lash line, and then I kind of worked it out, and then I took off any excess just like on my hand, and I went back in with the brush and kind of blended it a little bit more into my lash line. And I think it actually looks pretty cool. It's not anything crazy, it just looks like my lash line's a little bit more defined and maybe like my lashes a little bit thicker than they actually are, which I would not mind. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Oh, just poke myself in the eye. Whoa. So now I'm just gonna take this little kind of pointed end of this brush, and I'm just gonna go over the liner and just kind of, you know, drag it out a little more, blend it. I was trying to blend it with this little brush, and to be honest with you, the poking in the eye thing just kept happening. So we're just gonna go back in with this. Ooh, I'm getting some like French vibes from this look. My dad's gonna be laughing at me because yesterday I was like feeling very French for some reason, even though I'm not French at all. Like I really wish I was. But I was like listening to the Ratatouille soundtrack and like wearing red lipstick and reading blogs and drinking my coffee, and I was like, I'm so French. And then I was like, okay, reality check. You're not French at all. Next, we're gonna go with some lash curling and some Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. Whatever mascara you prefer. I think Meghan may have been wearing fake lashes, but I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm pretty positive she was, which is awesome, but I'm just not about that life, especially for like street girl style, you know? But if you wanna add on those fake lashes, go ahead. Something I did want to ask you guys though is, has anyone tried the new Glossier mascara? I want to know your thoughts because I'd really like to try it. Really looking for some good Glossier recommendations because honestly I just want to try everything. But if you have like a top fave product, please let me know. So now we're gonna go to skin. Gotta get my latest skin food in. This is just to add some nice glow, some nice hydration. I literally use a pea-sized amount. And we're just gonna pop it on the cheeks, a little down the nose, a little bit on the forehead. I feel like I don't really need help on my forehead. I get quite shiny as it is on my forehead, but you know, might as well. So while we're waiting for this to sink in, I wanna know your thoughts on the dresses, Meghan's dresses, other outfits too. I have to be honest, like I was kind of surprised. Like everybody on Instagram was like, this dress wasn't worth waking up at 4 a.m. for or whatever. And I was like, eesh, okay. I thought it was really pretty. I thought it was really her, you know, like I think the difference I was saying to my dad between her and Kate's kind of styles is like, first of all, I think Kate may have been a little younger when she married, but I'm not 100% on that. Versus, you know, Meghan's a little older, so she kind of has already developed this like sense of unique style, I guess. But I just really liked both dresses, especially the second one. I love that high neckline, y'all. And oh my, can we take a minute for her arm muscles? Like, did y'all see this? Like, she has those like beautiful, muscular, like Michelle Obama arms, which like, who doesn't want that? But I really like this one, and I loved her actual wedding dress. All right, so now we're gonna go on to base products. Now, you can totally wear foundation, BB cream, whatever you prefer. Meghan was wearing a like thin Dior foundation, which kind of like looks like MAC face and body to me, like kind of lets your natural skin shine through, which I think is amazing. Like I think that's really awesome. For me, I don't really love the feel of any kind of BB cream or foundation on my skin right now. I just feel like it doesn't really look good on me. It's like my skin's too dry for it at the moment, so I'm just gonna use concealer. This one is actually a new favorite of mine. It's the Bourjois Radiance Reveal. I actually bought this last year when I was in the UK, but I know you can buy it in Canada at Shoppers Drug Mart. I just really like it because you really don't need very much. Blends really nicely and it sets really nicely. So I'm just gonna put like a little under my eyes, like literally that much. And I'm just gonna go with my finger first to kind of blend things around here. But I feel like just kind of concentrating this concealer, you know, if you are just gonna use concealer, like wherever you really need it. So for me, under my eyes is like a prime place that I need concealer. I feel like around my nose, probably, maybe a little on my jawline because that's usually where I break out. Hashtag hormonal breakouts, y'all. Not a fun time. But yeah, so just gonna go in with my sponge, get that radiant look, as it were. I was saying as it were a lot today. It was like I was trying to be like fancy, prepping to film this video. But you know, whatever it takes. Did anyone else just think of like the Degrassi theme song when I said that? Whatever it takes, I know I can make it through, right? Oh boy. Got a little on the nose. And yeah, I'm just gonna continue to do this really wherever I want a little, I might put a little in the center of my forehead, wherever I want a little extra coverage. So I'm gonna do this and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, there we go. So moving on to the cheek area. Definitely had a little bit of blush. She actually wore a lot of the Honest Beauty products. I thought was kind of cool because Honest Beauty is kind of like mid-range, like it's not super expensive. So I'm gonna link that article down below if you're interested. But I am gonna add a little bit of cream bronzer. Nothing crazy, but I feel like she definitely had a little bit of warmth in her skin, but nothing that was like over the top orange or like super tan. So I'm gonna use this cream contour palette from e.l.f. Now these are all a little bit more warm toned, which I personally like because I think it looks really natural. I'm gonna go in with the lightest color, obviously, and just take a little bit on my finger. And I'm just gonna tap this kind of on the outer area, I guess you could say, into my hairline a little bit. And I'm kind of taking it a little bit more above where I'd put a contour, just because I want it to look more natural and more just warmth. Also, if I find it's getting a little bit too muddy, maybe, I actually bring it a little more to my cheeks to make it more almost like a blush, because that can really just help to blend everything. Just do the exact same thing on the other side too. Also gonna go over with a little bit of a damp sponge just to meld all the products together. I would also say it's really important to give your skin a minute to kind of meld with the creams, because sometimes I find that like I'll put on a cream product and I'm like, whoa, way too much, crap, and I'm like struggling. If I just like give it a second after I've blended everything out to like the most I can, usually it will start to kind of tone it down. It's like my skin likes to eat products, like eat blush, you know, eat bronzer. I've talked about that before, I don't know what it is, but I feel like that's really beneficial, especially if you have a heavy hand like I tend to have. Now we're gonna go with some cream blush. I'm gonna use my Pixie Dulce Candy Lip Candy palette. I'm actually gonna also use this for lips today as well, so it's kind of like a 2-in-1, which I dig. I am first going to take this color up here. I think this is Fresa. And it's really just like a very light pink. I have to be honest, like Meghan didn't have a ton of color. It was more as like a natural, healthy flush. So I'm gonna start kind of like back here and really just tapping it in, using the warmth of my fingers to kind of get that more natural look. Now, as I'm saying here, way too much product. Let's blend this stuff out. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm sure my skin will eat like half of this color. And the sponge also really just helps to give that healthy glow, because these are a little bit more of a slightly more matte formula. So it's kind of really important to get that light flush. Oh yeah, look how healthy that looks. I just dig that. I really dig it. Do the same thing on the other side. I also want to know which people you thought were the best dressed at the wedding. Like the guests, let me know, because I had quite a few favorite outfits. Priyanka Chopra, though, I think was my top fave. But let me know in the comments, because I love to talk about this kind of stuff. So now we're gonna go with highlight. And again, like Meghan doesn't have that like striking, like glazed donut, as the kids say these days, like highlight. She has had like a nice natural glow to her skin, like a glow from within. So one of my favorite products for that is this guy here, which is by Physicians Formula. This is called the Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls in the shade Translucent Pearl. Now, everybody is gonna have a different version of this, you know, depending on their skin tone. I think this one might come in a couple more colors. Basically what I'm saying is there's a highlight like this out there for everyone. It just depends on what your skin tone is. Another great option for this with its e.l.f. palette, it's called their Illuminating palette, and it kind of has those like very light, very nice healthy glow products, but not again like that striking highlight. Very similar to the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, at least what I have heard. I don't actually have any of those because I have these. But if you're looking for a couple of drugstore options, or if you already have the Hourglass ones, like totally go ahead and use that. So I'm gonna use the exact same brush that I actually used in my last makeup video, and this is the e.l.f. blush brush. I'm just gonna tap on here. I'm just gonna start up here, do a little couple swirls. I'm also gonna bring it down to my cheek, like my apples on my cheeks too, because I feel like you can't ever have like, oh, do you see that glow there? Do you see that glow? I love that. Again, not a powdery glow, just a healthy, pretty glow. And this does come with a little bit of like a spray over on the top, which kind of gives it more of a sheen and pop at the beginning. But then the product underneath is a lot more like a finely milled, not so shimmery product, you know? So we're just gonna continue with this. Might even put a little bit on my nose, you know? Oh yes. Oh yeah. Honestly, this is the glow that is a little bit toned down from sweat. Like, it's not quite that glossy glow, it's just like that healthy undertone of the glow. I don't know how else to describe it. Also gonna take this little up here. Yeah. Now the only place I'm gonna add a little bit more of a mattifying powder is just on my forehead, because whoa Nelly, like you could literally fry an egg on this thing right now. It's probably not actually that bad, but it feels like it is. This is just Maybelline Fit Me, by the way. Honestly, I'm not a lover of this, I'm not a hater of it, it's just kind of schmeh, but I'm just trying to use it up. So there you go. Something else I'm gonna do really quick is gonna go back into my Naked 2 palette. I'm just taking the color Foxy, which is just like this matte, kind of yellowy highlight kind of color. And I'm just gonna press this like right in that little area below my eyeshadow and like kind of, you know, right above, what would you call this, on the outer corner, just to kind of help to mattify that, because I do want to do a little more blending, but if I blend it directly onto a cream, we could have some issues, you know. Just gonna go with my blending brush one more time. Blend out this nicely. Oh yeah, y'all. Also though, I'm just gonna grab a tiny little bit of snake bite again. Like really tiny. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the outer edges, like a tiny morsel. Tiny morsel. Oh my god. I hang out with my dad way too much to like the point where like I know his like Monty Python jokes, you know? Meghan actually had black eyeliner, I believe, like kind of tight lining all around her eye. But for me, that doesn't look very good. It just looks very intense. Again, with my light hair, like my hella pale skin. But if you again love to do that, please do that. Next, I'm gonna do a little spray of this Urban Decay Quick Fix Mist. This is technically a priming spray, but I love it to give it a little extra glow. I love that stuff so much. Thanks to Becca for replenishing me on this, because I actually was almost out and she was like, I actually bought this and like my skin's allergic to it. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah. Yes, I do. So I think the last thing we're gonna do is lips, which is probably like the main part of this whole makeup. You know, I'm actually gonna use, again, this palette from Pixie and Dulce Candy. The funny thing about this lipstick though is it took me forever to figure out what the heck was like my match to that, because of my undertone of my lips. Like, it's like things look a little different on everyone, you know? So hopefully this will match you if you're looking for that. We're gonna go in with the color Flor, which is this one right here. Now it looks like a bubblegum pink. Go with me on this one. We're just gonna take a tiny amount of this and just press it on. Okay, so there we go, got the color. Now to give it a little bit of lightness, a little bit of life, we're gonna go in with this NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brulee, like just a little smidge. And then gonna pat it around. Oh my god. And that's it, we're done. Whoa. This video is probably actually a lot longer than my brain thinks it is, but I think that's pretty successful. So I'm gonna do a little zoom in for y'all. So here you go. As you can see, a little bit of a slight smoky bronze going on. And this lip is real pretty. I just really like this makeup. And it just feels very doable. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not over the top, but it just looks healthy. It still adds a little bit of definition, you know what I'm saying, in those eyes, but it's nothing that, you know, you'd feel like you couldn't wear out. Do you know what I'm saying here? Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I had such a good time filming it. Again, let me know your thoughts on the royal wedding in the comments. Not gonna lie, Madre and I were up at 5 a.m. We had our coffee going, and then we had our nice lemon elderflower cake going, as I'm sure a lot of you actually did. Mom has actually watched like almost all of the coverages we taped. We taped like 4 or 5, and she's like keeps watching it over and over again because she just loves the royals, and I'm right there with her, I'm not gonna lie. All the products that I used today will be linked in the description box. And yeah, I love you so much, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye. Bye. Okay, I need to get a life now.